Hey guys, it's Eric, owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains of North Carolina, and tonight it's time for another CB radio video, and that is for this new acquisition I have made. Found this baby at a yard sale for $10 whole, and it's not perfect. You can see, like Cobras, they all get this problem that the sheathing wears off of them. It's got a little bit of that going on, but it's still completely functional, and that is a Cobra 75 WXST, which stands for Weather Channel and Sound Tracker. And it's one of these all-in-one units. Now, I've got plenty of those. In fact, I've made some videos on the other ones I have. Most of them are older units. This is the first modern one I have with all the modern doodads, scan and dual watch and all that stuff. And I'm really excited to have it. Initial impressions, I've hooked this thing up, got it hooked up to Antron. We'll do a little bit of listening and talking later on here. But it's got all the features you could probably want in a radio. It really, to me, seems like it's a Cobra 18 WXST2. Which I have in my truck and in my car. I have one of those now. Those are good radios. They have scan function, they have dual watch, they have 919, they have all that stuff, and they have weather band. And this one really does that, plus a little bit more. It has some menu buttons here that allow you to save some of these channels to memory. So if you have 4 favorites or whatnot, you can do that. It's a little heavier than the older style handhelds that I've had, but it's pretty well built. Other than the cord, obviously, it looks like it's held up very well. This is all the way from back in, gosh, it looks like 2000. So that's, gosh, this is probably one of the first ones they made, in fact. So no wonder it looks so beat up. But I'm going to go ahead and turn it on here. And I'm going to turn the volume down so we can see. But if you can see, and I'll show a picture of generic one up close here, but it does have a backlit illuminated display. It's an LCD display instead of an LED display. And that's where the first thing that struck me as kind of crazy was, I've always wanted one of these. I've always been on the lookout, never found one. But I found this one, and I got to say, and maybe it's my vision, you know, I do wear glasses for up-close stuff. There's a lot going on this screen. Over here you have an LED bar, and I'll take a still photo. You can just take a look at what I'm looking at as I describe it. You got your LED bar, you have your RX, TX button, you have your AM/weather channel button, and you have your channels. And on top of all that, you have a TX button, which also brings up a separate meter down here, which, again, here's a freeze frame of it showing that separate scale on the TX button. Then you have your weather channel, which changes to another icon, and then you go through your weather channel buttons. And you have your dual watch, which you can punch in channels you want to have saved. And I'll get to another issue that I found here right now. I've got this plugged in, so I won't be able to lift it all the way up. But this is the part of the unit that you hide in your car. Now this is what makes these things super convenient, is this hides under the dash. This is just anywhere you want to mount a microphone, and you're good to go. Your antenna goes off there and your power goes off there. I was really surprised that my 1980s Uniden and my 1980s Cobra handheld or one-hander had 3 wires. And the reason it has 3 wires is because you want to maintain memory. You want to remember the channel you were on when you turn the car off next time you turn it on. I was very, very surprised to find out that this is either always on or not saving memory. So if you were to leave this thing on accidentally and not turn it on, say you were driving, you had the squelch set, you pulled over and forgot that the thing was turned on, if you have it hooked up to a constant hot source, you lose your memory. You'll run your battery down. If you don't have it hooked, if you have it hooked to a keyed source, which is probably the safer bet, every time you turn it off, you lose all your memory. And that's kind of defeating some of the purpose of this radio, because you have these memory and you're able to input 4 different buttons, you're able to input your 2 dual watches. So I'm a little disappointed in that, and I don't know, maybe one of you can chime in. Maybe newer models of this do come with the battery saver or the power always on hot. But yeah, that was kind of a surprise. But some of the other cool things this thing does have, you got your push to talk, your channel up and down, sound tracker, which is kind of like Noise Blanker or A&L. It's just Cobra's custom version of it. Some people really like it. I use it sometimes. I wouldn't say it's any more or less spectacular than any of the other forms of noise blanking that have been going on for many years now. It does have a separate microphone and speaker, which some of the older ones that I've had use the speaker as a mic, which is, it's doable, but it produces lesser quality in both sides. Now this one does suffer from the same problem that the older ones do, and that is it's kind of tinny. So I do have an external mic somewhere around, or not, an external speaker somewhere around here. I don't have it within hand's reach that I'll be plugging in. And the nice thing is, it does have a location on the unit here, if I can lift it up high enough, to hook that up and run an external speaker, so you can backfeed that into your car stereo, or you can backfeed it into the little speaker like I'm going to be doing. Positives, it's packed full of functions. I'm really liking the fact that I've got the dual watch, that I've got a 919 button on command, that I've got a scan function, which is like necessary for all modern CBers to have scan, because there's just not a lot of activity at certain times of the day or certain times of the month. So that's really nice. And the fact that it has weather channels, that's also really cool. Up here we don't get access to weather channels, it's just too far out, but on drives, you know, if you're driving and you're going someplace and you're trying to figure out where to spend the night, knowing what the weather's going to be like is certainly cool. So let me go ahead and I'm going to stop the camera. I'm going to get it closer in. I'll lay it on the table here. We'll just zoom it in. I've got it powered up to the brick and hooked up to the old antenna, and we'll see what kind of function it has, okay? Okay, because of the small nature of this radio, it's going to be a little bit hard to do this without having light glare and stuff like that, but I'll try to do it. And also my camera's not the best for focusing issues, but as you can see, there's your sound tracker button there. You've got a memory button that allows you to enter in a channel and then give it into any one of these 4 buttons for memory, so that's kind of cool. You've got your scan function. Whoosh, she got some bleed over tonight. There we go. There's scan. Now we got a lot of skip rolling in tonight, so it's going to have some hard time with scan, but you can see it's working properly. 6 is, you know, the Super Bowl, the toilet bowl, as one of my users coined it. It's really active tonight. I'll turn that back off right now. I'll just turn the volume on so you can see, just see what's going on with the radio. But that pretty much covers the functions of it. Channel up and down are here on the side. Oh, I wish I could do this more clearly or without the shaky cam, but unfortunately, that's pretty much what you got. Push to talk here, sound tracker, memory, channel 919, dual watch, scan, CB/weather channel. So it's packed full of functions. Also over here you have a lock button, so you don't accidentally push another button if you're on the channel you want to be on. You hit that lock button and you're good. Squelch is down here. Volume/on/off is there. The back of it is pretty much just standard looking hook for any kind of CB radio mic. So if you have the room to hang a mic in your car, you got the room to hang one of these beauties. So that's it. It's a short video. I haven't actually installed it in my car, but as you can see, it does work. It's picking up skip. Unfortunately, it's picking up a lot of skip tonight, but all right, that's it. I'm Eric, owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains of North Carolina. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, there'll be more like it, so like it and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Take care.
There's always something that needs a little fixing on Farpoint Farms. Freedom is mighty sweet. Liberty sows its seed at Farpoint.